had an idea instead of going inside and back out to fill my cup full of water multiple times.
Oh,
Why not?
it's potable. It's drinkable. So the water is drinkable.
I don't know. I don't see any particular reason why it would be less drinkable than the rest of our water. Seems
No.
like a too complicated a system.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. We have an attachment on our hose, like the knob that you turn. I think it's made of has some lead in it or something. Probably not that big of a deal. You finish everything already?
Still my pork chop.
Oh.
But I wanted something to wash it down with. So I was testing. And my test was successful. Yeah. With a bit more time to think it through, starting to come around more to your idea that maybe the next big collapse is going to be the last one. Because there have been a couple of total societal collapses that I know of. Maybe not like everywhere in the entire world collapsed at once, because the world wasn't that interconnected, but like there was the Bronze Age collapse where pretty much, I believe it was pretty much just before no, it was just like, I can't remember exactly when, but I think it might have been during during the time when the Israelites moved to Egypt. Was when the Bronze Age collapse was.
Really? Why was it collapse?
Well, we don't actually know why everything collapsed. We just know it did. There were thriving civilizations from Egypt up to basically throughout most of the medieval East. And then a generation later, there was like pockets of civilization left in Egypt. And that's about all we know.
You suppose the plagues contributed to that? Or was this after that?
This would have been before the plagues.
Oh, before the plague. So society was already kind of
like
in a
like
decline
one of the things that we know happened during the collapse was there was a bunch of famines.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know for sure famines were the cause, or like poor management from the ongoing collapse helped cause the famines.
Well, that would sync up with what happened during Joseph's time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the Israelites moved to Egypt.
When they moved, okay. So that's when Joseph helped Egypt survive the famines.
Yeah. And like, there's records that Egypt survived intact significantly longer than most other civilizations. And Egypt wasn't the hardest hit. Like, there were still pockets of civilization in Egypt afterwards, but everything was just devastated.
Wow. Quite a famine.
And then the fall of Rome.
Of course, yeah.
There was also like other causes, like there are other things that were happening, like the invasion of the Sea Peoples.
Sea peoples?
Exactly. They are called Sea Peoples in texts from that time. We know not where they came from, other than presumably they came from the Mediterranean Sea. But did they come from across the sea? Were they just pirates who decided to start raiding more harshly?
So we don't actually know who the Sea peoples are?
Nope. They came, they conquered, and vanished.
Strange. How is it that in all of that history they're not mentioned? What if they were just an entire race of berserkers? No, I didn't really care about it.
We don't really have history from that time, from places that weren't that side of the Mediterranean.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they could have come from Spain, and we just don't have any surviving records of anything that was happening in Spain at that moment.
Huh. Odd they never identified themselves or made enough of a mark to make it into the books.
Yeah, and then there's the Fall of Rome. Those are the two others that I can think of. But I heard somebody make the claim on the internet. I haven't been able to find a good reason to disagree with this. I haven't decided for whether or not I do agree with it, but the thesis statement of the claim was the society we're living in now is going to be the last human society on Earth, because all of the easy to access resources, all of like the easy to mine iron, easy to mine coal, easy to get out of the ground oil, everything that we have founded our industrial revolution on is gone. Nobody can found any. We cannot have an industrial revolution again using the same resources.
What about solar power and all those other ones? As we continue to improve the methods for collecting it.
Well, that's the point. Like, he's not saying he wasn't saying the collapse is soon.
Oh.
But if we collapse to Dark Age technology, which I have made the claim already that there is a strong possibility of sometime in the near future, near as in within our lifetime future, we start a collapse approaching Dark Age technology. So if we collapse that hard, there is no coming back.
I wouldn't be surprised. Especially with the timetable of events that's been happening recently.
I mean, every generation has said, every generation of Christians has said, the world is so much worse than it was the last generation. Clearly, the end of the world is coming.
And true, it's coming. It just may be a heck of a long time off. But
yeah.
Just how different this past century and a half has been compared to all the other ones before it. The discovery of electricity and invention of technology and television, radio, the internet, airplanes, everything else. Not to mention the reunification of Israel.
I suppose there was like some mention of that being one of the steps in Revelation, wasn't there?
I feel like there is, but I haven't studied it as much as others have. I think my mom said that it was a pretty big thing, and I can't remember why. I'm pretty sure that it does factor into it, though. I'm taking Daniel this semester, so I'm really looking forward to finding out more about that.
Yeah.
I think it's Daniel and Isaiah that I'm taking this semester. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of as being, like, maybe we could found the Industrial Revolution on wood power.
Well, wood is a renewable resource, yeah.
Problem is, I don't think we could found nearly a big enough revolution on wood and wood alone.
There's just too many people and not enough trees.
Yeah. And you, more than just resources, you also need a lot of people to do an industrial revolution.
Well, we do have a lot of population, don't we?
Yeah. But we, like...
And the other side of the
I'm just saying, like, it's not something that you can't scale down an industrial revolution, really.
Oh, I see what you mean.
The necessary components are resources and big cities. And big cities need a lot of people to feed them until you have arrived at industrial revolution to feed those people with less people so you have more people to think and revolutionize harder.
Well, I'm kind of skeptical about this claim, but how do you suppose AI is going to factor into all this, if it does at all?
See, the world becomes very simple if you just assume strong AI can't exist. I find it really hard to believe that strong AI can't exist.
What's strong AI again?
Strong AI is Data, as opposed to as the Star Trek character, as opposed to Siri on your phone.
I think I understand now. You find that hard to believe that can't exist?
Like, the only argument I could generate to convince myself strong AI can't exist would be to say the human brain is more or less the most efficient thinking box that can exist. And if that's the most efficient thinking box that can exist, then the most efficient way to make a computer have strong AI would be to perfectly simulate the human brain, and then you would need a significant amount of computer, like a room full of more than a room full of modern computers to accurately simulate a human brain.
Oh yeah, a lot more. I mean, even we don't understand completely how it works.
Yeah. And in order to then make a faster AI, you would need to just have faster computers.
I feel like...
In which case, AI, there might be something resembling strong AI that could exist, but it is not efficient enough to...
outthink us?
Yes. Otherwise, I can't really see past the so-called technological singularity when we create strong AI and it starts to improve itself faster than we could improve it.
So I feel like society would probably collapse before that happened.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to gauge whether we're 20 years from that breakthrough or 1,000.
Right.
It's really hard to gauge.
Or break it down, really.
Because we've had a very significant increase in AI capabilities within our lifetimes.
Within half of our lifetime.
So,
I guess that's why God reassures us that we don't have to know everything. He says, just wait, I'm on my throne. Don't be afraid.
yeah.
It's cool to think about, though. So many things that could happen. The future may not necessarily be bright, but it sure is exciting.
Yeah.
And of course, the final future will be bright.
Yep. You want some water?
Nothing, something. Someone used the phrase that sort of changed the way I thought about things. Really simple phrase. They referred to the last day before heaven as the last sunrise. And it just occurred to me, wow, there will be a last sunrise, the last day that the sun rises. It was just such a ceaseless thing. It happens since the dawn of time.
I almost feel like it's more accurate to call the night before the last sunset.
Right. But I mean, the last sunrise of this sun before the new day.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, calling it the last sunrise makes it seem darker.
Yeah, you're right.
Calling it the last sunset, like, it takes fewer logical steps to get to that being a good thing.
Right.
That the sun doesn't set anymore, even if it's now a metaphysical sun.
Right. I suppose it was just because at the beginning, it was in a song. At the beginning of the song, the song talked about the first sunrise. And so I suppose to close it up, they used the last sunrise. It's a cool song. It's, I don't actually know the name of it, but it's on the Casting Crown CD.
Okay.
The newest one. I don't remember what it is.
Okay, let's reset this quick. Well, I want to burn it to burn more.
Oh yeah, I suppose you're right.
I want it to burn all the way to ash. Well, ideally this would be more actually crane shaped. But you know what, we're going to go ahead and call it the first phoenix.
You don't want to bring the camera
Because,
in?
yeah, let's bring the camera in closer.
Is the camera good enough that we can even see anything with it?
We can see the fire still.
That's good. Can we bring the camera in? Extension cord.
Yep. Okay. Given that we can bring it too close to the fire, we can also lower it to get a better view of the fire. No, I was just lowering the stand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's not as hot, so we can...
Yep. Still got blue flames dancing all over it, though.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna call this the first Phoenix, even though it's not crane shaped, because you know what? I own this channel, I make the rules. And because each Phoenix needs a good name, and this is the first Phoenix we're filming, we're gonna call it the Alpha Phoenix.
Alpha Phoenix. And now, in a burst of flames,
The Alpha Phoenix has been born. Yeah, I wonder how long it would actually theoretically take for all of that to burn down. Probably
a
quite a
while.
Man, I'm fine staying out there.
I'm not sure, but oh, fine. Maybe going down tomorrow. We'll do smash later.
I mean, I have to get up early-ish tomorrow, so if we're staying out here late, probably not smash.
Yeah.
We can smash whenever.
Whichever you prefer.
I'd rather burn.
Alright.
If you'd rather burn.
That sounds good. We'll see how long this takes.
Wolf down yet? I mean, if you want to keep on blowing at it, I'll probably technically speed things up a bit.
Well, it looks cooler too.
It does. And one could even argue it's technically exercise.
Of a kind?
Exercising your diaphragm.
Yeah. Like a volcano. That's hot. That's marshmallow roasting hot.
I would hope so. We put an awful lot of wood on that fire for it to not get hot.
Oh yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, it's all gristle. Beautiful.
Very nice.
see if there's enough fire to deal with this bone.
Bone?
I mean, bone will burn.
Bone burns?
How cremation works.
I suppose so. That's really hot fire, though. I suppose this is too. I can certainly hear it sizzling.
And, we can use your burnt bone too.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I'm gonna get more lemonade. You want some?
Sure.
I'll take our place in the table. You want me to finish off your alcohol?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. There's not much left.
Sorry for the wait there. Figured I should take care of the rest of the leftovers.
Oh, that's alright.
Since we were both done eating.
Good idea.
Don't know if you buried them or something, but I can't see the bones distinctly anymore now.
They're blackened. They're right here.
Ah, and those dark patches. Okay.
They're the ones that are on fire. There they go.
I'm actually working on some ideas for using phoenixes in some of my campaign settings.
Oh.
Based on the rule that I set up for the phoenixes here of putting it in as the last thing in the fire.
Oh yeah.
And it being a paper crane, and it's basically the idea is because Pathfinder, the game me and my RPG friends play most, for some reason doesn't have stats for phoenixes. It has stats for a lot of other things, but not phoenixes.
Oh.
So I decided I would make stats for phoenixes, but they would be a construct, like a golem or some such.
Oh, okay.
And the way for creating them is you make a magical origami crane sort of contraption that contains an amount of magical essence, and you stick it in the embers of a dying fire, and based on how big of a fire that is, you get a big phoenix.
Oh, I see.
Or usually a small phoenix. There would not be an awful lot of phoenix based just on the fire that we burned today.
Yeah.
It would require a very substantial amount of fire.
I wonder if, like, say a fire-breathing monster, dragon, something attacked the city, and while the city was on fire, you threw a crane into the middle of it.
That would be a dragon-sized phoenix or so.
That'd be handy.
Yeah,
Fight the dragon with it.
exactly. But this also means that phoenixes are less a construct of fire and more a construct of ash, as an interesting, different sort of thing about them.
I guess that makes sense, because they're born from the ash.
And it still has the sort of being born from their own ashes sort of vibe to them, even if it's not quite completely accurate to the original myth.
Well, Tolkien's dwarves and elves weren't really accurate to the old legends either, but look how cool
Now
they
they're the
were.
most popular version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honest.
The most annoying thing about Tolkien really is that everybody else decided they needed to copy him and did a much worse job at it.
Like what?
Well, just like, if you think of a generic fantasy world, it will probably have elves, dwarves, goblins, and orcs. Maybe even a hobbit analog.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But like, Tolkien had a very good reason for using those particular creatures.
What's that?
Well, like,
In the making of the world?
yeah, like, there are reasons that there are elves, and elves are the way they are. It's not just
They're elves.
generic world-building thing.
Yeah.
He's making a theological statement with the existence of the elves.
Neat. I think that's a T-bone right there, and it looks like it's burned down pretty well.
Yeah, like I said. So that might have just been it burnt out the meat
Yeah, I'm sure that's all it is
and not
right
the
now.
bone. But it's still burning pretty good.
Oh yeah, it is hot in there. If we had a bellows, we could forge something in it.
Yep.
Something very small. It's amazing that all that wood, all that wood is right there.
Yeah.
Burns down that efficiently and that tiny.
Yep. I mean, most of the mass is just turned into smoke and CO2 in the air, but
Water vapor.
yep, CO2, water vapor, and whatever else is making up the smoke.
Yep. It's impressive.
Whatever other random particulates. But yeah, like, the elves were a statement about why humans weren't given eternal life.
Oh yeah.
And the dwarves are basically a statement of about how why you should let God follow His plan and not try to get into the way and do it your own way.
Oh yeah.
Because the dwarves are made by one of the Maiar in order to, like, they wanted to create life, and so they did. But the dwarves are not the
first to awaken.
And they didn't even have souls until Eru Iluvatar came around and gave them souls anyways.
Nice of them. Well, T-bones are buried down there somewhere now.
Yep.
Hopefully being buried will destroy the bone even faster.
Yep. And then the orcs and goblins were basically a statement about the fact that evil can't create
Only
in
corrupt.
Tolkien's world, only corrupt. So, like, all of his world building had very specific reasons behind it.
Very.
And everyone else, and like, none of the races are even like, when you actually take a look at it, none of them are actually the cookie cutter Planet of Hats type races that they appear to be at first glance.
Yeah, it's always got more complexity to it and
But
personality and things like that.
everybody who copies Tolkien just copies the hats of the race.
Right, so you end up with just generic.
Yeah. I think I haven't quite decided whether it's a good thing or a bad thing about fantasy as a genre that those races are so prominent. I almost think in some ways it's good.
I think so too.
Like, even if they aren't used well most of the time, because that means if I want to sit down and have a fantasy world, and I don't want to spend a lot of time agonizing over the races, I can figure out what the point of this world is, recast those existing races in terms that support the themes of this world, and it works, and people don't question it. Whereas if I want to do the same with sci-fi, I have to custom make new races that look visually distinct enough from other species that other people have made that people don't go like, that's just X from Y work. Even though a lot of times the races, there are a significant number of times when like the races are just sort of, let's take X fantasy race and make it a sci-fi race.
Yeah.
Like in Star Trek, the Vulcans are just elves in space. Klingons are just orcs in space.
Well, it's sort of like orc dwarves.
Or, actually,
They're honorable,
Klingons are
right?
probably more like dwarves in space.
Yeah, but with some orcish stuff in them.
Yeah. Vulcans are a bit, Romulans are a bit different.
Yeah, they're
Romulans are just, let's have Rome, but in space. Hence the name. Funny enough.
And the sister planet's even called Remus.
Yeah.
But, it's just fun,
Yeah.
It's when people try to take it seriously that it starts going off the rails.
And then we have Warhammer 40k.
What?
Warhammer 40k?
I don't really know that one as much.
Okay. My RPG group likes it a lot, so I know a fair bit. But like most of the races in that are pretty clearly cookie cutters of fantasy races.
Oh, yeah.
There are the orcs, spelled with a K instead of a C.
Yeah.
They're orcs in space. There are the Eldar. They're just elves in space.
But they're actually called the Eldar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is another word for elves, isn't it, in Tolkien?
Yeah.
Come on, that's just lazy.
Then there used to be the squats, which have since been retconned for whatever reason.
Squats?
Squats.
Oh.
Can you guess what they are?
I would imagine they're dwarves.
In space, with a bit of a steampunk aesthetic.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Like the only races in Warhammer 40k that just truly we call that are more unique than just taking a fantasy race and making it a space race instead are the ones they added more recently. One of the other factions are the Necrons. They're just skeletons in space.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But the two factions that are more interesting are the Tyranids. And
Dinosaurs? Dinosaurs?
No.
Oh, good.
Think xenomorphs, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the Tyranids came from another galaxy, and they come in giant hive ships.
Oh, so species 8472.
Don't know that species. Oh, from Star Trek.
I
know it's from Star Trek because I've heard it referenced, but I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, it's sort of an extra universal race in Voyager. They come in these sort of living ships from another dimension, and they're pretty creepy. They kind of look like xenomorphs in a way.
Okay. But yeah, Tyranids come to a planet, consume the entire biosphere of the planet, add it to their own, and move on.
Oh, okay, so organic Borg.
Yeah. Mixed with... Yeah. Organic Borg crossed with xenomorphs.
Creepy. Why isn't it going out?
And then there's the Tau, which, albeit be it not just a fantasy race turned into a space race, it's just, what if we make Japan Mecha the faction? Like just Japan Mecha anime, basically. Like, most of them fight, like, they prefer long-range combat, compared to a lot of the other races which have a lot of the other factions which have more solid, melee options, and most of their warriors pilot small robot suits.
Yeah, so
it's like not quite the scale of most Japanese mecha anime, but it's like,
close.
you know, you're taking you're putting a person-sized alien in a 15-foot tall maybe battle suit.
Okay, yeah.
Big enough to be taller than Space Marines. Because in this setting, the Space Marines are basically genetically engineered superhuman soldiers that will stand like 9 to 10 feet tall.
Oh wow. Here, have a look. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Love that.
Let's put it in front of the camera.
Oh yeah.
The camera can see. Oh.
I knew it.
The camera cannot see now. RIP camera.
There we go. Is that the camera? Can't see.
A bit farther away. Okay. The camera can kind of sort of see. The fact that it's not focused was a problem. Unless you probably just stamp that out.
What?
If you want to keep blowing on that, we can.
I do.
Not putting anything back in the garage. Oh.
Sure been a nice fire, hasn't it? It's lasted a long, long time. Long time. I think we started, what? 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock? It's 9:06 now. 4-hour long fire. No, 4 hours is a long bit of footage.
Yeah.
Will they be like in separate parts, or I don't even think you can upload a 4-hour. Well, no, they're 10-hour music things, aren't they?
Yeah, you can upload up to 12 hours, I believe. I might break it up into like 2-hour chunks, but I feel like the use case I foresee for this, like the use case I would use it for if I wasn't into making it, is basically like long videos to just relax and like fall asleep to.
Yeah.
In which case having a 4-hour video is no problem.
You could just make a 4-hour long video and then just call it, fire conversation to relax to.
Yeah. We were gonna plug your phone in.
Yeah, that's alright. I know how to get home from here.
Okay.
Well, it's 9:08. How early do you have to get up tomorrow?
I mean, it's not a hard thing. I just have things to do tomorrow. I'd rather get them done earlier than later.
Oh, sure. So, do you feel like plugging the Wii in, or should we forego that this time?
I don't know. I feel like it's worth it.
All right.
Like, if we plug the Wii in right now, after we douse the fire right now, we go and plug the Wii in. You're not going home until at least midnight, realistically.
Well, I wouldn't mind.
But yeah, but that is later than I want to be going to bed. So.
Sure, that makes sense.
I would ideally like to be going to bed like around 11.
Oh, we could do Brawl if you like, if the Wii is plugged in.
Not really down for Brawl.
Ah, sure. We'll just not do it this time.
Yeah. We can always play Smash again later.
Yeah. You don't always have to play it. I was just getting all trained up and everything. Not really.
You know, it would be kind of fun to at some point have a fire, like, make a bellows, or like get a bellows, buy like a big bellows to attach to a fire pit.
Fun. It would be a lot, very fun to do that.
Also be good exercise.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm always down for tricking myself into exercise because I need more of it, but I never want to do it.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. We can go play racquetball sometime in Northwestern if you'd like. That's very pretty fun.
Definitely see like the work that the blowing is doing.
Yeah.
It's like the areas we've been blowing on are like clearly more burnt out than the areas we haven't been.
It's interesting how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it slanted up against the door, or do you think we could open the door and blow on it? Is it sort of pushed up against the door, or could we open the door?
I don't feel like opening the door significantly changes how much air is getting through the grate.
I suppose it wouldn't. The grate it has wide enough holes.
Imagine that the steak was burnt in.
Oh hey, look at that. I wonder what this is. Oh, it's just more deck. Just like a particularly square piece of the deck left.
Yeah. Woo! Some good sparks there. But if you're scraping the bottom when you do that, the grates.
Oh no, there's plenty left to go before the bottom.
Crunchy. A lot of burned wood.
Yep. Yeah, I think we might not get it quite as burned down as I was hoping.
That's okay.
It's hard for me to gauge. Like, I've had a lot of fires, but I haven't been in charge of a lot of fires.
Yeah. It usually gets to about here, and then, of course, usually my family and I use it for roasting marshmallows and things.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the longer going fires I've had. Let's see here. we're actually having fires like I want to have fires. We don't necessarily need to clean the coals out every time.
They'll just use them as charcoal for the next time.
Yeah. It's just if it's sitting for quite a while. My mom wants it to get taken care of.
Yeah.
Probably not next week because I'll be painting at the other place, but maybe the week after this I'll have another fire here.
Be nice.
Maybe more wood from your house if you're coming.
Sure. We still got some wood left.
But I mean, we also have wood here, so if you don't have wood, if you don't come, or more wood, you don't get around to getting more wood collected, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because we just need enough wood to get the charcoals going again. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure I would call this part of the fire my favorite part of the fire,
Yeah, me neither.
but it's like, because I don't get nearly as much of this part of the fire as the rest, it's like the part I feel like I want more of.
Yeah. Even though it's not your favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel bad about putting it out.
But like, with the amount that we were burning, it'll easily take another 2 hours to burn.
Yeah.
If not more. Even with us blowing on it.
Yeah, and after 4 hours, I've had enough. Well, I don't see the T-bones anymore.
Yay!
Probably in there somewhere, but I can't imagine where.
Well, if you want to be done, let me know. So I feel like I could be out here for a while yet and not get bored.
We think so?
At least another hour I could do. But if you want to be done, we can be done.
I guess I've had enough after 4 or 5 hours. But this has sure been nice.
It has. Get the hose started up.
Well-
The nice.
Well, just because I'm going doesn't mean we have to stop. I mean, you could leave the fire going if you'd like.
Standing out here by myself isn't nearly as interesting.
Oh, well, I hope I don't feel, you're not disappointed.
What?
Well, I hope you're not disappointed. I can still stay more if you'd like.
No. If I would have been disappointed by stopping now, I wouldn't have said, if you want to be done, let me know.
Okay. This is one of the hottest fires I've ever been a part of. Just even holding my hand up here, I feel like it's getting scorched. 4 or 5 feet away from the fire. Well, next time I suppose we'll have to have an amiibo fight.
A what?
An amiibo fight.
Yes.
You and yours against me and mine. Or the both of us against the 2 of them.
I want to put the stick in so we can... Start stirring it up.
Wow. That looks really cool. Still striking a few sparks. Yours coming last.
Yeah, that'd be great. Alright, I think that's pretty good.
Oop. We need to go deeper. To the depths. Okay. That seems to be good.
And probably keep spraying it till the steam stops actually. There we go. That should be good.
Amazing how fast that heat dies away.
Yeah.
Well, so ends the fire of the Alpha Phoenix. Not really much to see right now. Even the alleyway just looks very dark.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, goodbye.
Bye.